Hello everyone, welcome back. We're here on CM42 TV and it's time for another Blu-ray collection update video, and this one is from February and March of 2021. The reason I'm including March in that title is just to prevent me from spending any more money going forward in the month of March, because listen, things are opening back up, things are looking quite positive, you know, trying to save my money so I can go and do things like restaurants and go for drinks and things like that when it is safe to do so. But it's so funny because when it's not been safe to do so, when we really should be saving our money, I've been buying some things, I've never gone mental, right? I've been quite lucky that way. I'm quite a good saver these days. I didn't used to be, but I'm quite good now. But I did say to myself at the start of the new year, I should really try and save some more money and make it one of my New Year's resolutions. And I was doing well, but it just so happens that in February and March 2021, it became a month that I ended up buying, you know, nice sets for the Blu-ray collection. And three of the things I'm going to show you today, so there's 5 things in total. 3 of the things I'm going to show you today was a complete, by accident, 3 of the nicest looking things in my entire Blu-ray collection. I should say maybe nicest looking in terms of my opinion. 3 of my favourite things that I have in my entire collection I purchased over February and the start of March, so they'll be included right here, right now, in today's Blu-ray update video. But the 2 things that are normal, but I don't want to discredit them, they're still, you know, I'm very happy to have them, but they're just regular Blu-rays I'll show you first. And the first one is this, boom, Terminator 2 Judgement Day. With big Arnold Schwarzenegger on the front, I was going to say on the back, he's on the front and the back because it's his film. The reason I've picked this one up is because I'm going to do a movie vlog where I've unboxed this and I'm going to watch it for the first time and give my first opinions. So I've never seen Terminator 2, crazy right? So I'm going to do a movie vlog, so look out for that over the next week. A movie vlog all about Terminator 2. I also have just done a movie podcast about the first Terminator film on my movie podcast, The Good Bit, which is available on all your podcasting outlets and also here on CM42 TV. So I would love it if you could check out my, I think it's like 54 minutes or something, all about the first Terminator film. It's the new series of The Good Bit where we're talking about an individual film every single episode. So one of the episodes we did was just on the Terminator. The plan was to do Terminator 2, but Terminator 2 is not really available on the major streaming services that we subscribe to, myself and my co-host Aaron. So it wasn't available to get to. So maybe it will be at some point in the future and we'll do Terminator 2 on the podcast, but I've never seen it before, so I thought I'll pick up the Blu-ray. It's been on my list for a long time as well, so I'm happy to finally have it. But I also got a little bit of incentive and a little bit of motivation to buy it from a fellow YouTuber and a fellow YouTube pal who may or may not be doing an entire month on his channel about James Cameron. I'll leave it at that. They may have been talked into it a little bit, but there you go, Terminator 2. Very happy to have it though. Next one is Batman Begins. Now, of course, I don't know, is the new Batman film coming out in 2021 or is it 2022? I can't remember, but of course we have the new Batman film with Robert Pattinson, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And I just feel like, you know, we're going to be building up to this new Batman film. Let's watch all the old ones, and not, you know, that it matters really. It's not as if like, the old films are a lead up to the new one, but you know, it's just nice to kind of refresh your memory and get a background on the character and that sort of thing, and see the different perceptions of the character and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I've got all 4 of the 80s, 90s Batman films. I have The Dark Knight and I have The Dark Knight Rises. I just never had Batman Begins, and I've only seen Batman Begins one time in my life. So, and it was when it came out, so I've not seen it since then. I think it was 2006 maybe. It has been on before. I remember my mate had it on DVD. It was one of his favourites and they always used to have it on when we were like wrestling or playing the PlayStation or something. So it's going to be a lot of fun to get back to it and just kind of watch it as if it's like a new film to me, with this big excitement leading up to the new Batman film. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises I've watched so many times, but only seen Batman Begins once. So I wanted to get, you know, I kind of wanted to get it to complete the Batman collection, if you will. But yeah, I don't have Batman vs Superman. I used to have the 1966 film, but I no longer have it. I believe I gave it away or sold it or something like that. So I'm happy to have Batman Begins. Also, I've always liked that cover. I don't know why. Something really aesthetically pleasing about the Batman Begins cover. I don't know why, but it looks really cool. So 2 legendary superhero films, Batman and T2. So happy to have them both now in the collection. They're definitely ones that everyone should have, I guess. And I kind of feel bad that I've never seen Terminator 2 and I've only seen Batman Begins once. Right, so the 3 I'm going to show you now, as I say in my opinion, are 3 beautiful additions to the collection. And I didn't, you know, seek them out this month. They just so happened to fall in my lap really. I did of course buy them, but I didn't. I wasn't like, oh, in February I'm going to be getting that. You know, it just kind of happened. So, and I don't mind that either when it's like natural and you just feel it and you're like, yes, I want to add that to the collection. I'm more than happy to do so. You know. So the first one is this beautiful Blu-ray Steelbook of Captain America, the First Avenger. Look at that beautiful Steelbook, the logo, the shield. And then you have young Steve Rogers on the back. It's not even young Steve Rogers, that's like genetically enhanced Steve Rogers. I just love this edition. It is the Blu-ray Steelbook. So the reason behind this is, just like a lot of other people, I decided, I'll move over a little bit. Apologies for the lighting, I'm doing this during the day and it just so happens that there's a very grey day outside. So the reason I've gone with this one in particular for the Blu-ray collection is because I started, much like other people, a MCU kind of watch through, because they're all on Disney Plus and that sort of thing, and I've never watched them in chronological order. I always saw them in cinemas when they were released, but in terms of the story progressing, I'd never seen it in chronological order, so I thought I would do that. I kind of like that idea. A lot of people think that's silly because you want to get the kind of Easter eggs in the other films and stuff like that, but I kind of like the idea of watching it in chronological order, you know, watching the story play out. So I've never done that before, so I watched The First Avenger on Disney Plus. Loved it so much, and that's kind of like my rule, you know, if you watch a film, whether it's on Netflix or Amazon or Disney Plus or something like that, and you really, really like it, even if it's just on TV, you go straight to Amazon, find a cheap copy and add it to the collection. It's like your collection should be a bunch of films that you love, you know. That's kind of my thought process anyway. There's also a way to stop me spending so much money on things I don't need. So yeah, so I watched the first Avenger film, really liked it, thought I'll get it on Blu-ray. And then, you know, I looked online to see what the next film would be for the watch through, and I saw that Agent Carter, the TV series, is also on Disney Plus, and that is kind of next in the story because it's post the war and it's all about Peggy dealing with the grief of losing Steve Rogers, you know, or losing him the way she believes anyway. So I started watching Agent Carter on Disney Plus and I'm loving it. I'm halfway through season 2. There's only 2 seasons, 18 episodes in total, a really easy watch. I thought it would just give like more of a background on the character and make kind of this film mean a little bit more. But it's actually like, I kind of forgot that it's like, oh yes, it's like a proper show that was like picked up by networks and that sort of thing. It's really good, so I'd recommend checking it out on Disney Plus. I don't think many people have really watched it because of the story aspect. They might have just seen it when it was out, but it really does help in terms of this film mean more, and I guess later things in the MCU films mean more as well, especially when you get to Endgame and that sort of thing. So yeah, really enjoy the first Avenger. And yeah, so the story behind the Steelbook is I searched just for the normal Blu-ray on eBay and I saw this and I was like, okay, a Blu-ray Steelbook on eBay, it's probably going to be damaged and scratched and stuff, but there was loads of pictures and it looked good and the price was really good. I can't even remember what I got it for, but I believe it was less than a tenner. I was like, I'm going to go for it, so I bid on it. It wasn't like I buy it now. I thought I'll bid on it, and if I lose it then fine, whatever. But I ended up winning for a really good price, got it shipped, it came super well packaged and stuff with like lots of bubble wrap and padding and stuff, and it literally is in perfect condition. It's beautiful. So, very happy to have it. If there was ever a way to have, you know, an Avengers film, it's in this sort of glorious fashion. And I was a bit like, oh well, if I'm going to buy all the Avengers films eventually, I kind of want them all to kind of match, but I kind of like how this is the first one and it's really special, you know, having the shield there and it being all embossed and on Steelbook and stuff. So very happy to have the first Avenger back in the collection. Next up, I was speaking to my mate Jay on Instagram and he showed me that he picked this up. I asked him to send me the link because it looks so pretty. It's one of my favourite films and I had to add it to my collection, and it is the Criterion edition of the Grand Budapest Hotel by, of course, the one and only Wes Anderson. Now, I had the normal edition of the Grand Budapest, but I saw this when it was like put up for pre-order a couple of months ago, and I was like, wow, if I have a bit of spare cash going around when this releases, or when this is released, I will pick up this edition. Don't necessarily have a bit of spare cash, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it anyway, because I didn't want it to go out of print or out of stock or whatever. I love the design so much. So here you see, of course, in beautiful blue at the front there, and then it goes over to the back. Look at that. Spine number 1025, and it slides out like this. It's also cool to have another Criterion added to the collection, you know, for collector's purposes. You know, I don't really bother about that. I quite like getting the sort of Amaray normal Blu-rays, but it's always cool to have like a special edition. So inside we have Romantic Poetry, Volume 1. This little insert here. We have a poster, which is pretty much just the front artwork, but in poster form. So that's really cool. And we have the usual Criterion Collection style essay on the film, which is going to be, which I've not read through yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, as you can see, you can read through it, learn more about the film and the actors and the director and stuff. And then of course it just keeps on giving with this unbelievable inside artwork. It makes such a difference when the artwork is beautiful. So yeah, I love the disc too. Very nice. Yeah, buzzing to get it. The amount of stuff on this is unbelievable in terms of like interviews, documentaries, commentaries, outtakes, deleted scenes, all that stuff. I'm not usually like a big special features kind of guy, but when you get that many, you know, but the whole, I mean, I love the film. It's one of my favourite films. Definitely the last 10 years anyway. And I mean, look at it. It's so pretty. The colours and just the symmetry and things like that. It's kind of what attracts you to a Wes Anderson film. And you know, if Wes Anderson's getting the Criterion treatment, it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, I love it. Grand Budapest. Looking forward to revisiting it, and I think we'll probably do it on a future upcoming episode of The Good Bit anyway. Right, last but not least, a big Blu-ray set that I had my eyes on for a long time. A massive hole in my kind of film knowledge is like the silent era and that sort of thing. Charlie Chaplin and things like that I just don't have that much knowledge on. I'm quite good in terms of like picking up lots of film stuff. I'm always learning and I'm always liking that and stuff, and I have a good kind of knowledge already. But in terms of like the silent era, it's really bad. In terms of, and also foreign cinema, I don't know much about foreign cinema. It's other aspects of films that I'm trying to learn more about. So I've always had my eye on the Masters of Cinema releases of these like older foreign films even. But this one's not a foreign film. This is the Masters of Cinema box set, the Spine 150, and it is the complete short films Buster Keaton set. This has been on my radar, as I say, for the longest time, just because of the whole, like, I really want to learn more about silent cinema, but also, I mean, when you look at this set, it shows you how artwork and presentation can make all the difference, you know. It's so simple, but it stands out so much and just looks so interesting. So this is all of Buster Keaton's best short films between 1917 and 1923. And I believe there's 32 short films on this set. I've only watched the first one, which is The Butcher Boy, which is directed by Roscoe Arbuckle, I believe, Fatty Arbuckle, which was Buster Keaton's on-screen debut. And then it goes up to a certain point where it's directed by him as well, the films, obviously. So here's the set, slides out like this. There's 3 individual cases and a booklet. The reason I never picked this up before is always that it was really expensive. I could never find it any cheaper than 30 quid. And although that's still a pretty good deal for 32 films, I just, you know, you need to get it, you know, be in the kind of financial position just to buy a Blu-ray for 30 quid. Here's the booklet. I think it looks a bit like Jimmy Fallon, a little bit. I don't know. There's the films on the back. And I mean, the information that we're going to have in this book is ridiculous on all the different films and the different eras of his life. Disc contents, it's all about like the films that are in there, the year they came out and who directed them, whether it be Fatty Arbuckle or Buster Keaton himself. So I thought that was really interesting. But the book's really thick, like it's really, it's quite hefty. So here's the first one. This is disc 1, which goes up to 1918. And this is disc 2, which goes up to 1920. And then discs 3 and 4 are in here, and that goes up to 1923. So very, very exciting. So many special features, interviews, deleted scenes, alternative endings, which I didn't expect. So yeah, I saw it on eBay. Again, eBay, can you believe that? And in the pictures, it still looked as if it was new and it still had the cellophane on it. And I was like, that's interesting. I bid for it, about 20 quid for it. Because I mean, it usually goes for 30, so I was like, if I can get anything off it, then great. And then I lost the auction at like the very last second. I'm not even joking, like within 5 to the last second, it was like gone. I couldn't even rebid. So I was gutted. But then the same seller had another copy, but it was like still brand new, still in the cellophane. I think I had like 3 or 4 copies and they just posted them all individually every week, you know. So I rebid, and this time we started a bid at £12. So I bid 16. And then I was outbid and I rebid again. I put my bid up to 20 quid again. And it ended up going for 24. 24 quid shipped on eBay. Brand new, still in the wrapper and everything. For all these films. And again, a hole in my film knowledge. So if I can do that and kind of fill those holes and fill those gaps and be like, right, okay, what am I looking for here? Another one was James Bond. And at Christmas I got the big James Bond set. So I haven't even touched that yet. So I'm looking forward to getting to that. But anytime I can sort of fill those gaps I'm happy to do so, even if it is a little bit more pricey, just because I like to know about films and stuff, and I think I'm quite good with that sort of stuff. So if there's areas, and of course I don't know everything, no one knows everything, but you know, there's definitely going to be gaps in my knowledge, and I really want to fill those gaps. So anytime I can do that, then I'm happy to do that. So even with like the MCU and stuff, I've seen all the films and that sort of thing, but you know, I don't know as much as maybe I should, and I've not seen them as much as other people. You know, Harry Potter's the same. I've only seen the films, some of them twice, the others only once. You know, so I'm reading through those as well. So that's good fun. But yeah, just, you know, anytime I can see something like that for a good deal, I'm definitely going to add it to the collection. And as I was saying, 3 of my favourite editions in my whole collection this month alone, you know, so here they are here. We have Terminator 2 and Batman Begins, Captain America the First Avenger Blu-ray Steelbook, Grand Budapest brand new Criterion release, and the Buster Keaton short films from 1917 to 1923 set, all for really good prices. Very happy with all the purchases and additions to the Blu-ray collection here in February/March 2021. Thank you very much for watching/listening to me ramble. You can listen to my movie podcast where I talk about the Terminator, but also a new film every single week. This week coming up is going to be The Untouchables. Please stay tuned and listen to that here on CM42 TV and anywhere you get your podcasts. And stay tuned here on CM42 TV for more videos. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all next time.